Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to the videos of the paid request. This time for John the Lindsey. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the episode Love is a Croc from Batman, the animated series. I think this is one of the newer seasons of that show. I could be wrong on that. This is when Batgirl was part of things. So I'm not sure exactly what episode this was in terms of the timeline of the show. But the gist of the episode is this character named Baby Doll, who was in another episode. But it's strange because in that episode she was caught by the authorities and she was arrested. But in this, she's let go. Like she's free. She does mention that she has dealt with Batman before, but I don't know why the authorities would have let her go. They don't really make it seem like she escaped. But she's someone who was an old sitcom star who has this disease, this condition where she can't grow any taller. So people think she's a kid even though she is a grown adult. I forget the name of the condition. So, I guess you say she's working at this hotel, and this customer, being a dick, honestly, the guy was, hey, you're that kid, do something funny, and it's like, oh, I'll show you something funny, you know, that's funny, you think that's funny? Tick you in the ass, that's funny too, that's funny too, how about that, them jokes, you like them jokes, that's my favorite joke. This is my favorite joke. How about that? She don't do all that, but she beats the hell out of him. And the guy deserved it, honestly. So she gets back to her room, and she's like, I'm not a child, I'm just different. And I can imagine just how much that would suck, where if you're in the body of a kid, but you're, I don't know, 30, 35 years old. So yeah, on one hand, people don't want to do anything with you because you look like a kid. And although to be honest, Sally, you would find a lot of sick people that would enjoy that appearance. So for some people, it'd be like, oh my god, I hit the payday because I won't get arrested. So in the real world, she would sadly find love in all the wrong places, looking for love. But it doesn't really tell us how she got out of jail. But I guess the parole board in Gotham must be the worst parole board in the history of entertainment. With all these people that are able to get out of jail, and they must be paid off. I think Batman needs to find this parole board and beats the hell out of them. Because there's definitely some corruption with all these people getting released. Right, some of them escape from jail, but, the whole Gotham prison system, they're the worst. But anyway. But yeah, Killer Croc, she sees on TV. And it looks like they changed Killer Croc a little bit. Because I remember being more gray. But here he's more green. I will admit I do prefer that look. Just because I think of crocodile, I think of the color green. So the fact he does look more green is less. It's less. What the hell is less? It's not a word. For me, it's better aesthetically. To be him looking gray, I always thought that was a weird choice. But him looking green, it just subconsciously makes more sense to me. Okay, Killer Croc, crocodile. Yeah, he will look green because crocodiles are green. Okay, cool. Instead of why is he gray? So I do like that change. That's why I think this is one of the later seasons of the show. But I guess in this, they show the trials on TV to the public. And he mentions how, he's just different. But they find him guilty, because he deserves it. He fights, he escapes, but Batman beats the hell out of him. Rather than after him eating the battering, which I like that moment where Batman throws it, but the guy just eats the battering and spits it out. But, Batman's able to hold his own, slam his head into this, like, semi-truck, slam him against the wall, able to inject him, capture him. So it shows Batman being capable. And rest in peace to Kevin Conroy. Whenever I watch one of these nowadays, I'm always going to think that way. Where, Kevin Conroy sadly left us way too soon. Was it cancer, I believe? Which, if that's the case, cancer can eat it. And you're just such a great voice for Batman. Brought a sense of authority, assertiveness, toughness, and just fit that character so well. Easily one of the best interpretations of Batman is the show and is that voice. So Kevin Conroy, that's it. Always great to hear him in there. So while this happened, a truck is being... They're taking Croc to prison, I guess. But Baby Doll's in the middle of the road. They swerve because they think he's a kid. Granted, if the truck just stopped, or if he was a crappy driver and hit her, Pet Sematary style, do you imagine that? If it'd be be like the truck driver Pet Sematary. Whoops! No, Gabe! Sorry, this girl was in the middle of the road. Now she's lunch meat. She's lasagna. Sorry. Could have been. Could have happened. Baby Doll doesn't know that, so she got lucky. She didn't turn into a pancake. Like one of those Maximum Overdrive trucks. Cue the AC/DC music. She damn skippy lucky she didn't do that. Roadkill. But it goes off, it crashes, she's able to shot the guards, gets Croc, and I would like a little bit more of her kind of getting through to him, to trust her into doing these crimes. It seems pretty quickly they have a lair set up, and this series of newspapers say that they're doing these crime sprees, like Bonnie and Clyde. Now, of course, Croc is doing this just for the money. She's doing it because she's in love with him. Which creates a lot of questions. I do like the line when Batgirl and Batman find this out. And Batgirl says, "What do you think they do on a date?" And Batman goes, "I don't want to think about it." I thought that was pretty funny. And I agree with him. I don't want to think about it either. But yeah, she's very entranced with him, but he wants nothing to do with her. There's even a bit where he goes, like, out of a bar. He's got, like, 2 girls on him. I'm like, Croc, you seem to be bitching a lot, but you seem to be getting girls whenever you want. Like, these 2 girls, they take a look at your face, and they're perfectly fine and dandy. Maybe they're furries. They love the scales. I don't know. But these girls seem like you're going to have a 3-way bang. Threesome. So... what the hell you complain about being different? You just go in the bar and get 2 girls and be perfectly fine, and that one girl or whatever, once I get enough money, I'm going to drop her like a bad habit. He didn't say that, but that's the gist. But Baby Doll don't like that. And even see throughout it that sometimes he wants to smack her, but he doesn't, goes, "I'm not in the mood." I'm still wondering how the hell Croc is able to get 2 ladies at once. Give me some tips. Give me some tips, Croc. Damn. So, spoiler, at the end of the day, they do this other job, but Baby Doll traps them and goes, "We're going to die together, and not only that, we're going to take Gotham with us." Batman and Batgirl come in. There's an Odysee before that they try to stop him, but they in this casino, but they're able to get away. Here, I do like the action scene between Batman and Killer Croc. I like the background of this big turbine, and Croc tries to get Batman's face, but his cowl, like this is made of steel, is able to mess with the turbine a bit. I didn't know his cowl was that steel, that type of toughness, but you find out in this episode. And he's able to throw some punches, and which is nice. I mean, I've said this before and I'll say it again. A lot of times in cartoons, especially in the 90s, you don't get a lot of people punching other people because it would be deemed too violent, and these weird things with the censors. Like the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, if you look up, I forget where it is, all the things you could not do with Spider-Man, it was ridiculous and really hampered that show. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. But again, these rules, like, the stuff they were not able to do is ridiculous. And now that I said that, if I learn it, I'll see if I'm able to find it, but if something like this was able to do more because it was looked at as more fantastical, because Gotham and such is more fantasy based, so because of that the rules didn't apply as much. Such a weird ass thing. Well, this has 10 most confusing examples of censorship on 90 Spider-Man from Fox executives. The Sinister Six had to be the Insidious Six. You couldn't have real guns, you had to have laser guns. The show was banned from showing broken glass, especially if it came from a window. So the villains broke holes in the walls or ceilings. Of course, there'd be no bleeding. Of course, people like the Punisher were toned down. Censors went after any word that sounded too violent, such as death, die, and kill. If Spider-Man lands on a building, he can't harm any pigeons. I don't know why he would. The business limit. Heroes and villains could throw punches that pretty much never connected. So body checking, kicking, wrestling one another, but no punching. That always was so weird. So weird. No use of the word sinister, no blood, killing, injuries, or deaths caused by violence, no guns with bullets, no real vampires, no punching, no breaking glass, no hurting pigeons. It's the weirdest stuff, man. So yeah, go figure. But pretty much in this episode, Killer Croc screws himself over because he gets a pipe. Batman warns him, but Killer Croc's not listening. He gets blasted. And Baby Doll's like, we could have lived happily ever after, as she thought of in a sitcom, but of course that did not end up happening. So it's one of those scenes that, as an episode, definitely unique pairing of this baby doll character and Killer Croc. So it definitely made it seem a bit more unique and not typical of this type of. I mean, like I say, it's a very unique pairing. The idea of this girl who is a grown person but has this girl body be in love with this. Obviously, I'm sure with a cartoon, they couldn't really go in depth in the dialogue of, no, you look like a kid, I'm not in the kids, all that stuff. I'm sure that type of dialogue you couldn't really get through in the cartoon, even in a Batman cartoon. I think that's why you have Batman say the line, I don't want to think about it, with the date thing. Maybe it would have been nice to have Croc give one big yelling, not exposition, but one big yelling speech at her to really tell what he thinks of her. Maybe that would have been nice to hear. But yeah, I mean, I actually didn't mind the episode. I thought it went at a good pace. The pairing was interesting. This Bonnie and Clyde idea. Croc, being popular with the ladies, except the one who wants him. Definitely a different type of love story that visually has a creepy element, but at the same time, there's a variety of reasons why you wouldn't have it reciprocated. Her being in love so gun-ho that she's willing to end all their lives definitely gives a bit of her undercurrent of being alone and wanting to belong, and this rejection was a bit too far, a bit too over the hill for her. Like I say, they don't really explain how she got out of jail in the first place. Batman and Batgirl are fairly in the background on this. It's just every once in a while they pop in to do a bit of action. It's definitely much more of a villain showcase between those two. Like I said, I do appreciate Killer Croc's different look, color scheme wise. I think it's more appropriate. I didn't really think there was many slow spots in it. The action scenes, not amazing, but capable, competent. Overall, I liked the episode. I thought it was a pretty decent one. That was a pretty decent one. It was a bit more of a unique plot. It's not up there in my favorites, like the Invisible Man one and some of the other episodes, but this was a pretty decent one. I did overall like the episode, and I thought it was definitely worthwhile in checking out. So I do appreciate that. But either way, I did overall like it. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. Thanks once again, Jonathan Lindsey, and we'll see you guys later.